guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm just here really because I'm working on my Christmas journal, and I thought I would come along and obviously do a bit of a craft with me. Haven't really got anything specific, but you know, I just thought I would come along and do that. I also just want to share this gorgeous happy mail that I got. I received this from the lovely Lisa from Handmade from Lisa, so check out her channel. I will try and remember to link her channel below. But she sent me this gorgeous journal, and I just thought this was so fantastic and such a clever idea, because if you can see this, it's been stitched on the sewing machine. It's pretty flat, so this was able to be sent just in a regular, you know, normal envelope, you know, packed really flat. But it's actually got lots of writing room inside it. Of course, I won't write in it because I will just hoard this like I do with anything that I receive from people. I've got that lovely journal and several books and things that Laura has gifted me, which I just hoard. So, of course, I won't be using this, but I will hoard it. And I just thought it was just such a fantastic little idea, because it really is, you know, easy to send, easy to pack. And I just love it, to be honest. It's really gorgeous. But I mean, also, it's still got, you know, fabric ruffles and things like that. It's still got doily page and things. Just absolutely so clever. She's got pockets, obviously, on the inside and the outside covers. And here she's included lots of her fabric washi tape from her shop. Isn't it all gorgeous? I absolutely love it. It feels kind of, I was going to say fleecy. I don't think it is fleecy, but it has a slight feel of it. Isn't it lovely? I just absolutely love it. Having said that I was going to hoard it all, I might have to use this somewhere in my journal maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know whether I can bring myself to use things or not, to be honest, but definitely just, yeah. So check out her shop as well, because she obviously must sell this washi tape in her shop. And it's lovely. It feels brilliant quality, really nice and thick. Yeah, just lovely. But I'm just so thrilled with this. So thank you so much, Lisa. I absolutely love it. And yeah, even got a bit of bling on there. And yeah, just really love it. Thank you so much. Made my day. Obviously, it arrived yesterday. But I wanted to save it to be able to actually open it and, you know, share it with you guys. I didn't know what it was, obviously, in the envelope. And I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that she'd actually fitted a whole journal into that envelope. So, yeah, thank you so much, Lisa. I really appreciate it, and I absolutely love it. So I won't take the tags out or anything. Well, I can, I guess, because my private message is kind of there. But aren't they just lovely? I just absolutely love it. And I have to say, your stitching is so neat. It really puts mine to shame. So, yeah. Thank you so much, Lisa, for thinking of me and sending me that. I really love it. Might have to have a go at making a couple of those, because I just think it's a genius idea, because it's, you know, so packable. So thank you very much. So I wanted to share that with you guys because I was thrilled to bits, obviously, with that. And yeah, so this is my Christmas journal that I'm working on. As you can see, I certainly can't claim to be putting this in a normal envelope. As usual, it's turned out now super chunky and, you know, getting bigger by the minute. But I've done quite a bit of work on it already, but I just thought I would switch the camera on and just come along and do a little bit more really with you guys. So the last thing that I did was I decorated this. This was actually one of the envelope booklets that we made during one of our mass making workshops. So it was fantastic because obviously the base was done. I just had the fun part of the decorating and things, which, you know, of course is always the nice part, isn't it? The nice bit. So yeah, I was quite chuffed to have that ready to go. So I'm just deciding where to put it. I was intending on having it here, but I did then wonder whether I could have it on the inside of the front cover, because I love how it picks up, you know, it's the same paper there. Obviously, I haven't decided what to do down here just yet, but yeah, I do wonder about having it there on the front cover. Also, it's quite a bulky piece, and so if it goes on the front cover, it's quite a good place to put it. So let's see what else we could put along here just to cover up that piece of envelope, which obviously wasn't covered up by the initial paper. So I'll just have a rummage through, see what I've got here to the side. And I could just kind of tear off some of this or something and pop that. That's quite nice, isn't it? So if I just tear it down like that, I could literally just have that. I mean, actually it's very wide still, so I need to tear it down further, but I could just have it like that. It almost looks like a bit like snow down there. Yeah, I quite like that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I might as well just Mod Podge that on. Excuse the back. That was obviously some of my safari kit, where I was obviously printing it all out and checking, you know, what I wanted where. Actually, and I have just thought, because that's actually printed on just regular copy paper, I'm not sure that's going to be quite thick enough. So let me just go back to my stash here and see whether I've got another sheet of that paper that I could use, you know, that's on thicker paper rather than cardstock, so rather than copy paper. And would you believe I haven't? I've got literally, you name it, it's here, but I haven't got that. So I'll just double check. No, well, that's not good, is it? Well, let's just stick it on with the you know, using the copy paper, see how it is. And obviously if it's not really cutting the mustard, we'll have to just change it. So, you know, it's no hardship, is it, really? We just try it here and see how we get on. So just pop that down. As you can see, I've torn that a little bit, which is a bit annoying. So I'm just going to pop that on there like that, and very handily that covers that up completely. Just press that down, stick that down. Well, hopefully that looks okay so far. So hopefully we're good, even though it is just copy paper rather than, you know, thicker paper. Okay, press that down. So I hope that everyone's having a good day. Hope you're getting some crafting in. There we go. Put my brush to the side. Mustn't forget to rinse it out after I finish my video. I'm really rubbish at, you know, looking after my brushes and things, and invariably they end up going really hard and dry, and have to leave them soaking for ages to try and get them back to, you know, some form of usability. So yes, I mustn't do that. I'm just going to ink this paper slightly because I have inked the envelope there, so just so as it blends in slightly better. Yeah, so this is just all obviously using my Festive Frolics kit. So thank you so much to those people who've purchased the kit. I hope you're having fun and feeling nice and festive using it. I've really enjoyed using it so far myself. So it's got lots and lots of, you know, fun bits and bobs, and yeah, I mean, obviously I always like to have loads and loads of things to use, so I've been really enjoying it, and I hope that you guys have too. So just going to glue this down, and I have to say, actually, I have pulled in a few more of my mass makes. I haven't obviously used everything from my mass made items. I have kind of combined some mass made pieces with you know, some freshly made pieces, but it is proving very useful having those mass made bits, I must admit. So again, if you are you know, if you've been joining me with the mass made bits and pieces that we've been doing, I hope you're enjoying having like lots of nice things ready made. Certainly kind of makes life easier, doesn't it? Right, pressing that down. Oh, I love how that looks. So I mean, again, I guess this you know, popping this here just goes to show, you know, I had a torn section in the paper. You know, don't ever kind of think, oh no, I've torn that, you know, it's ruined. You can just cover it up. And actually, I mean, I never would have put this strip of paper here had this reached right down to the bottom, but it looks lovely. I'm pleased that I had to do that now, because actually it breaks it up and just adds a little, you know, another something to the page. So loving how that looks. Right, my next piece that I've got this like a belly band or a pocket piece. So I'm wondering where to have this, whether to have it on this page here or kind of further in through the journal. I'm just flicking through to see what pages I've got left, because I know we've talked about this before, but I find it quite helpful to go through the journal so that I don't have like all of my bits in one place and then nothing left further in, if that makes sense. So just having a look. I mean, we could have it here. We've got a page here, or we could have it here. What do you guys think? I mean, to be honest, it's really quite nice there, isn't it? So perhaps I'll pop it on there. Oh, let's just go for it. I need to not dilly-dally, don't I? So that's my mission lately, is not be dilly-dallying all the time. I'm going to pop it over there and probably just stick it on though like a belly band. So I might use my 3-in-1 because I'm convinced that they've done something with that tacky glue that I've used for years, because it just doesn't seem to be sticking well. I think it's probably sticking just as well in the long term, if that makes sense, but it's not sticking very quickly, if that makes sense. Oh, and now my 3-in-1's not coming out. Oh, it is. It's just very, very slow. Yeah, I'm sure it's holding well enough, but it's not doing it very fast, which of course is, you know, not ideal when we're doing our journals, is it? So, you know, because you want it to stick pretty quickly. Right, just trying to unclog my 3-in-1 here. Come on with the best intentions, and then, you know, 5 minutes into the video, glue issues already. Right, love how that looks. So I'll just hold that down for a couple of moments. So I haven't decided yet how I'm going to do my cover or my inside of the back cover. I will probably print off another sheet of this paper to do the inside of the back cover, to be honest, because I normally like them sort of uniformish. I mean, that's a bit of a generalisation. It's not always has to be, but I do quite like them kind of matching. Right, so that's that piece. Now, I don't think I've got any more ready-made pieces at the moment. Let me just check. Yep, I think I've used them all. But what I did do was I just dragged in some more of my mass-made things of what I thought would be ideal. Again, as you can see, obviously got this mass-made envelope, which just, how brilliant is that colour-wise? It just couldn't be better. So I'm just going to have a look through and decide where this would be good. So let's just have a look. Okay, so probably or maybe we could have it here in the centre, actually. Might be really nice. What do you guys think? I'm just going to check that that would close nicely still. And then just play around and see. I mean, I've got this obviously, which is kind of matching the image opposite. So we could have something like that. We could have one of the like banner type, belly band type pieces, kind of just, you know, lengthways down the envelope. Of got this really beautiful vibrant red lace that I've been using in here, and obviously that's what I've used here, so could kind of have it like that matching there. Or would we prefer to just have a belly band? No, gosh, no. Oh gosh, no, that just looked really bare, didn't it? No, not going to do that. Right, let's pop this on here, I think. Just going to see how we want the lace. Okay, so what I might do is ink up the envelope first. Just probably easier to do that now rather than in a minute. I'm just going to check I'm still filming. Oops. I've got some sort of message on here. Oh, I don't know what that's about, but I hope it doesn't interrupt my filming. It's just talking about my internet connection, which, you know, obviously I don't really need my internet connection at the moment because I'm filming, but I hope it doesn't then stop it from, you know, from filming. Okay. Just ink this up around the edges a bit. And again, I know that I have mentioned this like a billion times now, but just in case anyone hasn't, you know, heard me going on about it, I'm using walnut stain because I couldn't get the vintage photo from Amazon when I last ordered it. So, or, you know, when I last needed to order it. So I'm using the walnut stain, which actually, I'm actually really liking. I have had it before, but not for a long time. And I would say it's more black/grey based than the vintage photo. But actually now that I'm, you know, getting used to it more, I'm actually quite enjoying having, you know, having something different. So, I mean, although I say different, I mean, it's different, but very similar. So, it's not like hugely different, but yeah, it's quite a nice colour, let's just say. Right, so pop my lace trim on the envelope. Whoops. Get my dry wet wipe. Okay, just trim that there. And then just going to pop this down to the side. I'm just wondering whether I want to have it here, like over the edge of the lace, or over here. I actually think it looks better probably over the lace a bit. What do you think? Yeah, probably. So again, I'll just use that 3-in-1. So I'm going to stick it down here at the top so that I can then gauge where I need to put the next bit of glue, because as you can see, it's longer than the envelope. So just dab that off there a little bit. And then I'm just going to run a bit of glue here. Oops. Just under that lace a little bit, because the lace obviously wasn't glued down either. So, you know, on that edge. Right. So that's nice. I'm going to just trim this off. Try and leave the lace long, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to trim the piece off. Okay. Okie dokie. So that looks really nice. And obviously that's a little belly band now that I can just pop some journaling cards and things like that underneath there as well, which is always a good thing. Now, do I want some string, or is that going to hold? What do you think? Just going to have a look and see where my other, you know, string items are, because I don't want like lots of things with string next to each other. But actually I haven't got anything with string for a few pages, so I could probably get away with having a bit of string. And again, I know that not everyone likes the string because a lot of people commented saying, oh no, not the string, for something else that I made. I'm not sure still whether they meant they didn't like string generally, or just for whatever it was that I was making that day. But And I can't even remember what the item was actually, but yeah, I do like a bit of string. So I just think it adds to like the interactiveness of the journal. So clearly that's not an actual word, but it just sort of adds to the, you know, how you interact with the journal, which I think is quite fun. So I'm just going to have that like that. Now with this kit you get lots and lots of, you know, bits and bobs that you can be using as little decorative pieces. I mean, I just keep on pulling this out because I kind of think, is that nice, or do you think that's overdoing that a little bit? Maybe it's overdoing it. Maybe I should just have some holly or something. Right, so I've got some holly here. I'll just ink that up around the edges. And again, you know I've talked about this before. So this obviously is a fussy cut piece from the kit. Pretty fiddly because obviously it's holly, but you know, seriously, don't get too hung up because a bit like as I always say with the flowers, you know, it doesn't have to be too perfect because holly's, you know, not actually symmetrical and perfect, is it? So, you know, as long as you get it roughly, then that's good enough, I think. So I just pop that there. It just adds a little bit of extra to the page. I'm just checking I am filming because where I had that little notification and I haven't dared clear it, I've just left it on the screen obviously, and I just had to check that it hadn't now timed me out, you know, like, I mean, I don't know, sometimes these iPads and what have you, they just do like silly things that you're not expecting. So I just wanted to check that it wasn't sort of, you know, like waiting for 5 minutes and then going to switch off the filming. So right, just going to glue this down. Like that. Okie dokie. Just pop that down. And then what I might do is pop something over that flap. So obviously that's the flap there, but what I might do is get one of the pieces from the kit. So these are some bits that I was then fussy cutting obviously yesterday or last night, ready to be using. Just decide which piece to use. I mean, I've got quite a selection here, so, and I haven't finished cutting everything out to be fair, but I've got quite a few bits that I can certainly get started. So let's just have a look. Just seeing what's nicest with the dog on the facing page. Do you know, I think that little dog there is pretty cute. So I think I will pop him there. Like that. Yeah, I'm going to pop the dog there. And I'm just going to stick him flat down. Sometimes I have put things over the flaps like as a pocket. And that's fine, but sometimes then it catches, you know, as you're putting things in and out the pocket. So I'm just going to, you know, stick this down literally like glued onto the page, like as a bit of decorative detail, because obviously you're going to have things in that envelope. So your journaling, you know, your main journaling stuff is actually in the envelope. So there we go. Okie dokie. Now, so far I haven't added any ruffles or anything to this journal, and actually I've been quite restrained. I've hardly added any bling yet. I'm going to go back through and do all of that at the end. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I just mix it up, to be honest, how I do my journals. You know, sometimes I might do complete page, sometimes I might go back through and put ruffles and things. So this one, I don't know why it's evolved this way, but I just thought actually I'm going to do things you know, put things in and then go back through and do the ruffles and what have you afterwards. Right, just having another look now through my mass made things that I pulled in that just thought, you know, yep, that will work. I've got this little fold out that I thought, again, depending on obviously what we go for, I thought again, you know, can look quite nice on there as well. So again, let me just pull in my bits and bobs and see what we've got here. And I think we need to now move through a little bit. Oh, got some more here, look. Oh, they were bigger ones. They would have been better actually with the other piece. Anyway, doesn't matter. So I'm just wondering if I were to have that there, if I was going with that holly paper, let's just see how that would look. Well, that would look quite nice on there, I think. Yeah, I might do something like that. So just have a look, see what pieces I've got here. I think probably I'm better off with a smaller one actually, because if it's quite a big one, it's just lost completely under the flat. Well, I can always trim the flat down actually. I think I would do that. So, you know, this is a mass made item. And I guess again, you know, I know we've done the series now using the mass made items to give you some ideas of how to use them. But I mean, I guess this is demonstrating again, just because you've made the foundation, if it's not quite working with the project that you come to use it for, it can just easily be altered. So for instance, this one, you know, I'm just trimming down the size of the flap. So, you know, it's fantastic that I've got that base made, but if it's not quite as you need it, you can always alter it to suddenly suit your project going forward. So I think I'm going to go for that one. Again, let's just ink this up a little bit. Like that. Such cute images, these gorgeous Santas. And I loved that black dog playing with the bauble. It's just so cute. Right, just ink around there a bit. Okie dokie. Right. So I'm going to just pop that on there like that. So I'm not even going to, you know, layer this up on lace or book page or anything like that. I'm just going to pop it down. Again, I'll just use that tacky glue. Oops, let me just pop that on there, like that. Okay. So love how that looks. Really, really nice. And then I've also got this other red lace, which this one's sort of more pinky toned. The other one's really bright, if you can see the difference. That one's really bright, lovely, vibrant colour. This one's a bit more pinky toned, but just possibly more subtle with the Santa, I think. So I think I'll just pop some of that there. I'm going to have him here. So again, just going to glue that down. Okie dokie. Like that. And then what I'm going to do is just trim off this edge piece because it's quite thick. So we just trim down there like that. Okay. I mean, I don't worry if it's not really straight. I think that sort of adds to the charm of it. But looks really nice, doesn't it? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video and go and print off another sheet of this so that I can then do these two pages, you know, work them together. So yeah, hopefully I'll be back in a moment. Right, I'm back. I've got my piece of paper now, obviously, that I've printed to do my background here. So again, I'm just going to reach back and bring the Mod Podge back in. So I apologise for the, you know, the poor lighting situation here, and I apologise for this. Obviously, I'm reusing paper. I don't want to waste paper. So yeah, apologies for that. But the poor lighting, it's, you know, obviously it's a problem because where my desk is, you just get this shadow, you know, from the journal. So I do apologise for that. I can't really kind of odds that at all, I'm afraid. So, you know, when I can, I'll try and kind of weigh pages down. But I mean, obviously for things like this, the journal's kind of moving and it's tricky to then... Whoops, tricky to then weigh it down. Oh my gosh, I'm such a messy person. You know, I've literally flicked the Mod Podge all over me. And I know I've said this before, but why it's called Mod Podge and not Mod Podge is just beyond me, because Mod Podge doesn't really roll off the tongue, does it? And Mod Podge definitely does roll off the tongue a lot easier. Right, put this down here. Actually, you know what? I could actually put it this way round, and then we don't have to fill in that gap at the bottom. So I'm going to do it like that for this one. I can't remember why I didn't do that for the other page. There was a reason. It wasn't that it just, you know, didn't dawn on me. I think maybe I'd already used the paper elsewhere and I didn't actually have enough left to go, you know, the whole length of the page. Just in case you're wondering, well, why didn't you do that before? There was a reason why, and I'm sure that that's what it was. Right, let me open my drawer, get my card to spread this out. Hopefully I've got a nice generous covering of Mod Podge. I certainly managed to flick it everywhere onto myself, so you'd kind of hope that as it was generous enough to get me covered, you'd hope it was generous enough to stick this down, wouldn't you? But stranger things have happened, it's got to be said. So right, okay, so that's that. So then all I'm going to do, see, stranger things have happened. Did I not actually put any Mod Podge down the bottom? Do you know what? I might not have done, because I might have been thinking I was just going to the top. Oh my gosh. Clearly, I'm just going completely mad. Right, let's glue that down. Okay, hopefully between the glue and the Mod Podge, hopefully we've captured the whole thing now. So the first thing that I'm going to do in order to make it a little bit more manageable to work with is obviously cut around. Cut around here so as I haven't got all of this excess paper hanging off. So I'll just cut around that. I mean, this is very tedious, I realise, because you've probably all seen me do this millions of times already, but these things, they're part of the process, aren't they? So we can't really kind of avoid them. Obviously, I could have just stuck this down before switching the camera back on. But I mean, I know that we've talked about it before, and I don't really like it that much when I'm watching a video and then they go off and do something and then come back and it's already done. Because, you know, if on the off chances you haven't seen this done before, you know, I'm not saying that this is rocket science. Of course, this is not that interesting, but I find sometimes I'm left then wondering what they did do or how they did glue it down. So yes, that's me. So right, so we've got this piece here. I mean, you know, although these are different colour greens, I mean, this is kind of, I don't know, bluey type green. It just complements those holly sprigs really well, I think. So I hope I'm not alone in thinking that. But yeah, I definitely like how that looks. Now, just deciding what to have on the very back. So before I kind of go gluing things down, I'm just going to decide. I have got, I think, a couple of music sheet envelopes. So let me just bring that in. Oh, I'm really freezing now that I've been downstairs. It was significantly colder downstairs than it is up here in the loft. So yes, I'm all chilly now. Right, just wondering whether we could have like a really nice envelope. Or perhaps we could have that there on that side. And that on that side. What do you think? Now it's annoying because I had some white lace ruffles. And I'm not sure whether I've actually got any left, so I'm going to have to sew some more. And I've done loads of ruffle sewing lately, and for some reason I haven't now stitched the ones that I would quite like to use. I don't know why, but this black polka dot was kind of calling me. Clearly didn't really look that great when I put it there, but it was, I just had to try it out to stop thinking about it. Right, so we'll probably just use the white ruffle. No, I don't know whether this is quite right. Got a book page pocket here, which I could have. Or, now look, all of my stuff has toppled down. Ugh. So messy, so messy. Right, could have, actually, let's just, let me weigh this down, so it's not kind of moving about all the time. Oops. Come on, oh, won't stay put, obviously. No, it's not going to play the game. So much for me saying, oh, I'll weigh that down. Obviously, it's not wanting to be weighed down, I'm afraid. So I don't think I can. Yeah, we could have something like that, and then I've got like some stamps and things that we could pop on here. That's quite nice, isn't it? And a bit of ruffle or something down the edge. And we could also break it up with a bit of doily. So let me just grab in some doily. Oh, I hate that you can't actually see me, you know, like reaching about for things, because when you're filming, you can't really tell whether you're going to actually have made it into view or not. So I pray that you couldn't, you know, that I wasn't making it into view, because you'd have just seen me stretching right across the desk. Oh my gosh, just waffling away, sorry. Right, so quite like it like that. I'm not going to muck about, because clearly I'm beyond that today, and everything's just sticking to me and making things tricky today. I don't know what that's about, but I think I'm just better off gluing things down today, because yeah, it's obviously going to be one of those silly days, you know, where everything's just stuck on you, and yeah, just making things tricky. Right, do we want another piece of doily just on that book page, or is that like too much doily now? We don't want to like overdose on the doily, do we? But you know, sometimes it's nice to have a bit on the book. Don't want to actually lose like the book page, if you see what I mean. But equally, we don't want to, you know, God forbid that we would under-decorate. I mean, I don't think I've ever under-decorated something on a journal, but There is always a first time. There we go. Feeling festive now, you see, working with the festive kit. It's putting me in the mood. We've got Christmas songs playing in our house now. 1st of December, I've talked about this before, I'm sure, but we put up the tree on the 1st of December. This year it was a little bit disjointed and ended up dragging over a couple of nights, but, or, you know, a couple of sessions, but yeah. And then it's Christmas songs all the way. So we've got an Alexa in the kitchen. So we're all constantly then, oh, Alexa, play, I mean, it tends to be the same old ones. I mean, sometimes we say shuffle Christmas songs. But sometimes, you know, we're asking for specific Christmas songs. I mean, to be honest, there's very few Christmas songs that I don't like. I think most Christmas songs are pretty awesome. You know, even the cheesy, awful ones, I still love. Yeah, trying to think, what would my favourite one be? I mean, of course, I love things like Jingle Bell Rock and... what else do I love? I don't know, Jingle Bell Rock, and I love Santa Baby. Love All I Want for Christmas Is You, you know, Mariah Carey. Love Last Christmas, obviously, George Michael. I mean, that's just awesome, awesome song, isn't it? So, yeah, there's not that many that I don't like, if I'm truthful. I think they're all pretty cool. Right, I'm going to pop the lace down on here first. Again, I don't know whether like there's any actual Christmas songs out in the charts this year. I mean, it's not like when we were kids, and we used to have, and I don't know whether this was a thing here in the UK or whether this, I assume this happened everywhere, but we had the charts on a Sunday and everyone would be really excited for the charts, what's going to be at #1, you know, that week. But I don't even know if there is like a #1 now. Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, that sounds a bit ridiculous. I'm sure there probably is. But I just think music's so very different to when we were young. Which again is another really sad thing that I think, you know, kids have lost these days, because I've got these couple of flowers that I pulled in just before switching the camera on, because I thought, oh, I might use a couple of flowers somewhere. So I'll just see if I can pop this anywhere. Yeah, I mean, music, again, that's another thing that's just changed beyond recognition, and it doesn't seem to have the same buzz and excitement around it that it did when we were kids. I mean, literally, people were excited to find out what was at #1. Now, like I say, I don't even know if there is a #1. There probably is. I'm probably just showing that I'm so out of touch with music that, you know, I'm the only person on the planet who doesn't know about these things, but I think that's really sad, because actually, you know, that was a really fun part of kind of growing up, was, oh, what's at #1 this week? And yeah, it was fun. I just think kids, you know, although they've got, and I know I talk about this all the time and it's just so boring, I'm going on about it again, but I think they've lost so much. I mean, they've gained so much too, as have we all, due to the internet and, you know, I mean, like YouTube, how epic is this, you know, that we can all be sharing our crafting. But they have lost a lot of precious things, I think, as well, because, you know, definitely like the music, which obviously was a brilliant way to kind of bring things together, or bring people together, you know, and share nice times. That's gone now. Well, it seems to have gone. And I think I might have talked about this before. I don't know whether that's because there's so much music now, you know, because obviously people aren't restricted to just the charts on the main radio, that actually people are now able to listen to what they choose to listen to, which of course that's a fantastic thing. You know, we're not stuck listening to what we're dictated by the producers, you know, to listen to. But equally, I'm not sure that then it's such a shared experience. Would that be? I don't know. I don't know what I'm waffling about, but definitely I think there's some things that have actually been lost, and maybe not so what's the word? Not so exciting now, or don't have the same shared element. Something like that. I don't know quite what it is that I'm trying to put my finger on really, but definitely I think, you know, things have changed, you know, lots for the best, but things like the music, I mean, I can remember sitting, listening to the charts with my finger on the tape recorder to record just the songs that I liked. I didn't want to obviously record the ones I didn't like, just wanted to record the ones I did like. How cool was that? And, you know, and I wasn't alone. That's what all school kids were doing. Yeah, I mean, obviously they don't even need to do that now. Like I say, we just shout to Alexa, can you play such and such? I mean, obviously she's limited on what she has, you know, unless you've subscribed to like Amazon Music, or I don't know whether she can play Spotify, I don't know. But, you know, so I mean, of course you are sort of limited, but, you know, we are very blessed from that point of view. I mean, those songs, she has a huge library and they're like free, you know. I mean, I assume that somebody's being paid somewhere for them songs. I don't know whether Amazon kind of buys like the rights or something. I don't know how that works, but I mean, that's absolutely awesome as a, you know, a person at home, isn't it? When you can just not even have to get off of your seat, but just shout out to Alexa, you know, play some Christmas songs, let alone having to actually sit with your finger on the tape recorder trying to record your favourite songs from the charts. Not that Alexa, I think, has, you know, like necessarily up-to-date music. I mean, I don't know, because I don't really listen to up-to-date music, obviously. The fact I don't know even whether there is any up-to-date music, but yeah, anyway. Lucky in many ways, sort of sad nostalgia in other ways. There we go. Right, that's my thought for the day. Okay, so love how that looks. I've got this little bow. I love having bows on my journals and things. Actually, I should check that I'm in frame, to be honest. Oh, I suddenly had this horrible feeling that all that waffling about the music and the tape recorder and everything, and I thought, oh, I might not have even been in frame for any of that. I might have just been so busy waffling that I didn't even notice whether or not I was even in frame. Oops. Right, let's pop the bow on here. Whoa. Okay, oh gosh, come on. Right, pop that bow down. Okay, right. I'm going to put the little rosebud in this flower. I think that looks pretty. Oops. Like that. Oh my gosh, come on. Come on. I am not good with the gluing today. I don't know what's going on, but not doing well with the glue. There we go, pop that down. Okie dokie, so I like how that looks, and that's the first ruffle that I've added so far to this journal. So I'm going to pop this one here. Do I want anything hanging out? No, I'm going to just stick him down, I think. So again, I'll just use that 3-in-1 because it's hopefully sticking down kind of faster. So I'm going to pop that down there, because what I will then do is when I go back through the journal, because as I say, you know, I haven't popped any ruffles or bling and things like that in, I will go back through with all of my little pieces that I've been busy fussy cutting out and just see whether I want any bits and bobs like poking out, you know, from places, you know, to finish it off. So that's the plan there. Okay, so I'm happy how that looks. Yeah, it's coming along nicely and it's getting quite filled up. So I've just got this page here to do. Let's see. But I definitely want that there, because I don't want it kind of like really full at one end and not at the other end. So I'll just check that I want that there. Yeah, let's have that there. So I'm going to have him here, and again, I might just have a bit of doily coming out just behind there, I think. Now, can you see here, I've got this torn bit, which actually it can peel off. That's just from where the paper was stuck together when I was coffee dyeing. And it sticks together, and then obviously, of course, you come to pull it apart and it obviously tears, you know, tears off. But I can have that like that. Now I'm just wondering, am I likely to want a ruffle anywhere? Because if I do, I just need to remember that and, you know, have this moved over slightly. So like that. Yes, I probably do. So I'm just going to pop the doily piece down. Did anybody else see the fantastic video by Handmade from Lisa, who sent me the beautiful journal? Did anybody else see her fantastic video of her absolutely gorgeous not coffee dyeing, sorry, dyeing of paper? Not coffee dyeing. It was dyeing with, as she called them, like Easter egg something or others. I don't feel like I've seen those here, but that might just be me. Yeah, I don't know whether we get those here. She had these little weird things that you must kind of get over there. Again, as I say, you know, possibly we do here as well, but I've just not seen them. That you can kind of like decorate your Easter eggs with. And she'd evidently used those, put into some water, and then obviously dyed predominantly doilies, although she had done some paper as well. Oh my gosh, they were so gorgeous because they came out in the most beautiful colours. So they were all like, she described them as Easter egg colours, which I guess is probably quite a good description. Or maybe she was just meaning Easter egg dyeing because it was dyed with the Easter eggs. I don't know. Anyway, the most gorgeous colours. It was like pale pink, pale lilac, blue and yellow, if my memory serves me right. Absolutely gorgeous. Like so cute. You know, just really pretty. You know, like, I mean, obviously completely different to the sort of colours that I'm using here because they were very pastel-y and delicate and pretty colours, but wow, they just looked beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You know, and on these tiny doilies they looked really cute in these colours. They just looked lovely. So yeah, if you haven't seen that, again, I mean, I'm going to link her channel below anyway. I pray that I do remember to do that now because I am shockingly rubbish when it comes to things like that. But I'm going to endeavour to try and link her channel below. The other thing is I don't seem to be very good at linking things, and I seem to quite often get people saying, oh, your link to your shop's not working, or link to here's not working. So yeah, I'm obviously not very good at linking things, but I will try and link her channel below. And if you haven't seen that video with her beautiful doilies, it's worth checking out because they looked so gorgeous. Now, can you see what's happened to my ruffle up here? I'm just going to cut that round. Okay, right. There we go. Oh, yay, I've got 2 ruffles now. 2 ruffles in my journal so far. Right, okay, so I will probably have to leave it there. Unfortunately, I've stopped the video a couple of times already, so not entirely sure how long this video is, but I'm pretty sure it must be getting quite long now. So I'm going to stop it there. I probably won't come back and do any more of this on film, but I will obviously be back with the flip through. So I hope that you've enjoyed just having a little bit of fun and doing a bit of decorating with our Festive Frolics journal. So thanks very much for watching, and see you all again soon. Thanks then. Bye.